Alright, much Abrew about nothing. Playing some Forcemage Green in Modern. And we have a quick Forcemage, but we need more creatures. Opponent cracks a Flooded Strand, gets a Plains, and Step Links. So is this a zoo deck? Well, Forest, Noble Hierarch, pass the turn. There's a Flooded Strand. So Step Links is going to be getting big, and we are not good at blocking. That is one thing about this deck. Not at all good at blocking. Hallowed Fountain, untapped, and gets in 4/4, down to 16. Another Step Links, oh lord. And a Champion of the Parish. Kind of weird in a deck playing multiple Step Links. Primal Forcemage, pass the turn. Usually, Champion of the Parish, you're seeing a lot of humans. Not necessarily Step Links. And if you're seeing Champion of the Parish, normally you'd play other human 1-drops instead of Step Links. Just weird. Weird all around. Alright, there's a human. In Student of Warfare. If they have another fetch land, we're taking an incredible amount of damage here. They are down to 3 cards, which is good. Alright, opponent just gets in for 2. So hopefully we draw a creature, like a Drake or something would be awesome. They're going to Path Forcemage. Puts a counter on the Student of Warfare. Oh, Groundbreaker! So we can play Groundbreaker, attack for a ton of damage, but we can't sack it to Life's Legacy. But it might be good enough anyway. We get in for 11, potentially. And we can even attack with Forcemage. 12, 13. And then Hurricane for the win. The question is, what if they fetch land, crack it, get a white source? This becomes a 3/3, so 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're not dead. Alright, let's go with that. So, Groundbreaker gets big, thanks to Primal Forcemage. Then we will Rancor our Primal Forcemage, swing with both, put our opponent down to 3, pass the turn, we lose our Groundbreaker, and see what our opponent can do. Hopefully, we can just win by casting this Hurricane. If they don't have a counter, that should do it. Never thought we'd be winning by Hurricane, but we'll take it. Another Student of Warfare pumps up the champion. And levels up Student. So I'm assuming they got to leave that back on defense to keep us from attacking with Forcemage. Or not. They're just going to chump? That's fine. So we drop to 11. Well, we have a whole bunch of ways of winning now. Strangleroot. Well, let's just play a land. Attack with Primal Forcemage. Our opponent's going to have to chump with their entire team to stay alive. Yeah, they could have blocked. That is an odd choice, but... Alright, they do the blocking with everything. Drop to 1. And then, good old white border Hurricane. So, when I was building this deck, I could have used Black Border 10th Edition Hurricane. I said, no, if we kill someone with Hurricane, I want to do it with white border. So, so we got the white border Hurricane kill. Things that should not happen in Modern, but just did. Alright, in the sideboard, against this deck, this might be a Fog matchup. We don't have much else that's really good. Paths are only okay. So let's Fog and go down Birds of Paradise. And Ooze might be fine too. You know, let's just try it like this. Well, we got a Hurricane again, and apparently that is the card that wins us games. Double Strangleroot is also good. Marsh Flats cracked. Gets a plains, and there's the step links. Well, the only good news is Strangleroot is the single best blocker in our entire deck, so. Marsh Flats for our opponent. Cracks it. Gets a plains. Gets in 4-4 with the links. So down to 16. Student Warfare. And levels it up. Alright, let's run a Strangleroot out there on defense. Actually, we can get in for 2. Yeah, maybe that's fine. Let's get in for 2. Put our opponent down to 16. Another fetch land. Windswept Teeth. Cracks it. Gets a plains. Well, we're taking a bunch. We're taking at least 7. And Step Links is so weird in this deck. But, okay. Well, we take a beating. Down to 8. Let's just Forest and Primal Forcemage. Pass the turn. Oh my god. Well, they are doing a good job of drawing fetch lands like crazy. Mono white fetchland.deck. And a path for our Strangleroot guys. Well, probably not winning this one. Opponent decides to not get in any free damage with their Thalia's Lieutenant. I guess that's nice of them. I guess they're hoping that we didn't know what landfall was. worth a shot. Like, oh, if we don't attack there, then maybe they just won't block anything. But if you're, yeah. Alright, so get a Hallowed Fountain tapped. We take 4, and we are essentially dead. Puts a counter on their Student of Warfare. Maybe, like, Running Fogs could get us out of this. But not Primal Forcemage. Well, I mean, I guess we can try it. It seems unlikely. We can Primal Forcemage, Strangleroot Geist. Can't attack. Pass the turn. If they have a... I don't know. We're likely just dead. Not this turn, but next turn. And they have another fetch. Oh, so many. 1, 2. That is their 5th fetch. I guess that's what you want. They're also spending a lot of life, though. Leveling up their Student Warfare. Do they have Brave the Elements or something? Is that what this is about? Otherwise, leveling up doesn't do much because we still just block with Strangleroot. This time, they decide they'll take the free point of damage. Block, block. Strangleroot comes back. Down to 3. Well, let's... Life's Legacy to draw a few cards. And that does it. Just not quite enough. Alright. Well, I think that was about as good as our opponent's hands get. Alright, we could play first, and... Yeah, alright. We got a fast Groundbreaker. I guess that's something. So, Forest, Noble Hierarch, and pass the turn. Gitaxian Probe for our opponent. Paying some life. Plains, and... Champion of the Parish. Fair enough. They know about the fog now, which makes it a little worse. Well, yeah, let's Primal Forcemage. Pass the turn. So now our Groundbreaker is worth 9? That's a pretty big hit. And our opponent has a ton of fetch lands, which can backfire if they're low on life. Hallowed Fountain. Down to 16. Our opponent does love shocking themselves. Meddling Mage. Fair enough. I guess they named Groundbreaker because they saw it in her hand. Sure. I mean, that keeps them from immediately taking as much damage. I don't know if that's a legitimate strategy to win this match, but... Alright, opponent passes. Interesting. So we can Timbermare for 8? I don't know if that's worth it, though. Let's just attack with Primal Forcemage, I think. If we attack with Primal Forcemage, we kill the Meddling Mage if they double block. We can Timbermare, but then we just lose it immediately. Yeah, let's get in with Primal Forcemage. If they want to give up their Meddling Mage, that's fine. They decide to just take it down to 13. Well, we will just pass the turn. Fetch land, cracks it, gets planes, and a Reflector Mage. So we get our Primal Forcemage bounced, which is fine. We can't recast it right away, but it's not a big deal. Opponent goes attacking. I think we take 5 for now. See what we draw. Down to 15. Well, let's Timbermare. Taps everything down. Gets in 4/6. Play the Forest. And then next turn we're set up to Primal Force Mage Ukatabi Drake for the win. I think, hopefully. It'd be nice if our opponent tapped out. That would make it easier to kill them. Another Reflector Mage. Come on, get the Timbermare. They're going to bounce our Noble Hierarch. That actually means we need a land to win. Opponent attacks, we cast a Fog. So if we draw land, we win immediately. Come on, land. No paying. And another Primal Force Mage. Well, Primal Force Mage, Ukatabi Drake. Oh, we're 1 point of damage short from killing our opponent, but this puts them to 1. So they can't play or crack fetch lands, or they can't crack them at least. They have to deal with our Drake. They can't attack with Meddling Mage, because then we can block it and that would turn on our Groundbreaker. So I think we're still in a pretty good position to win, all things considered. And our opponent scooped it up. Apparently they cannot beat the Ukatabi Drake. Well, we got the Hurricane kill and a Ukatabi Drake kill. Sweet.